please the nation. Everybody want me listen to the PlayStation. Advertise a stage show and make you dance all around. Them a take the equipment and a put it in a van. If them broke down one, we make 5 more strong.
Down in England, we've got lots of radio stations playing the people music night and day.
Reggae, calypso, hip hop or disco. The latest sound today is what we play.
On and on, off and on and off and on.
If them turn it on, we are gonna turn it on back. If them turn it off, we are gonna turn it on back. If them broke it down, we are gonna build it on back. If them take where we record, then we get fresh talk. Now me love this station and me love them to a max. We release and dump it and all boom shot. BT I a fight, but them can't stop that.
Pirates, illegal broadcasters. Just because we play what the people want,
Them a call us
pirates,
them a call us
illegal broadcasters.
BTI try stop us, but they can't.
Oh no, they can't.
You see, one station it gonna run England, 2 station it gonna run England, 3 station it gonna run the nation. That's why everybody listen to the P station to advertise a dance and ram your sessions. If a music you want to get them new brand, action station me say for everyone. If them broke down one, we build 5 more strong.
They're passing laws, they're planning legislation, trying their best to keep the music down.
No.
DTI, why don't you leave us alone? We only play the music others won't.
Them a call us
Pirates,
them a call us
illegal broadcasters.
just because we play what the people want.
Analyze.
Them a call us pirates, them a call us illegal broadcasters. DTI try stop us, but they can't.
You see, 1 sound coulda never run England, 2 sound coulda never run England, 3 sound coulda never run England. Everybody want to listen to them station. If them broke down one, we build 5 more strong. If them broke down 2, we build 10 more strong. Advertise a stage show and make you dance all around. Me say cock for your ears and to the P station. If you want to hear a tune, that is new.
On and off and on. Hey, hey.
Them a call us pirates, them a call us illegal broadcasters.
Let's get into it. Let's go. Let's go. Mic check. Let's get a mic check going real fast. Are we good? Facebook, YouTube. I don't know what it is, but Twin and Black Lion, they constantly, they go back and forth. I don't know what it is. I wish y'all could just shake hands and be friends. I don't know what it is. Let's do a sound check. Donna, are we here? Can you hear me? We good? I blame my lateness on Black Lion. It's his fault. It's his fault. Mic check. Let's do a mic check. Are we here? My read is not telling me. I'm not showing anything on the. All right, we good? Good afternoon, Michelle, Stephanie Hyde. Countdown, get ready, get set, go. All right. Mic sounds nice. Thank you. I'm not ready to go until Donna says the mic sounds nice. How about that? My auntie Donna. I'm not going to say we good until she says the mic is nice. All right, I got you. What's good with everybody today? Carolyn Smith, what's happening? Sound clear? Thank you, Steph. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody being here, the few and two that are here. Let me get me up on the monitor if you don't mind. Thank you. Thank you. It always amazes me how what's up, Tracy? When you say something on a post that people don't agree with, it always amazes me the people you get responses from. Hey, what's up, Kim? Kim Eberhart. What's up, Tim Scott? I thought they didn't pay us any attention over here. I thought it didn't matter. I thought we were just a little bitty ass podcast, and I thought that it didn't matter. So what I say and how I feel, why does it matter to you? How is it stopping anything where you from and what you doing? It's just funny they pick and choose what they want to pay attention to when I say something. What up, Tiffany Daniels? Y'all don't find that odd? I find it a little odd. Maybe because I've been doing this for a while now, and I just see that people want to get in. They kind of want to say something when they can maybe they can find something untrue, but let me just say this. I'm cool with people disagreeing with me. I'm cool with disagreeing with people, but I've never really insult them when I disagree with them. I never categorize you, like put you in a category of something that I feel is degradable, like degrading you. Mama Birch, what's good? Brenda Early, what's happening? Kevin Farmer, how you doing? Stephen Speed, what's happening? Every time I see Stephen Speed, I think of one other person, and he's been on my mind. I don't know how many people have contact with Anthony Prosser, but AP lost his mom. And, that could be, I know that can be very devastating. I keep saying I lost my mom recently. It feels like, and I'm sure that, hold on, I'm sorry. I lost it. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I'm sure that a lot of us who recently lost our mom, like Tracy, Dillingham, we lost our mom, and it feels like yesterday. Sorry about that, guys. My screen blurred out on me a little bit. It feels like yesterday. And, I haven't heard from AP in a while. That bothers me a little bit because he's such a good brother, and I hope he's okay. From my understanding, a few weeks ago, he lost his mom. And I know a lot of that, it lingers with you. And, I just want to, I hope the brother, maybe he's listening and he's just not participating in the show and things and that, you know, but I hope he's okay. I know that feeling. A lot of us know that feeling, and it's a feeling that's like gut wrenching. Yeah, I know, Tracy. I think every day, it just, it's just something every day. Now, Tracy, I'm not trying to make it, fam, we here, but a lot of my program here on Wyatt Live, which I love, and I love everybody here, man, and I love everybody who participates, especially the old school stories and stuff. But I hope I don't do to like some of you like what I do to myself each day. If I talk about something from back in the day, which I probably have a 95% rate of bringing up the past or talking about something in the past, I know I do that because my childhood was pretty good. I loved everything about where I lived, how we did it, and I loved it. So I talk about it a lot. But what it does, it also brings back memories of my mother every day. I hope I'm not doing that to people that are watching, maybe in a good way. But like sometimes the other day, not yesterday, but I think it was like Monday. I did a show Monday here, and after the show, I had to really take some time to myself and reminisce and go, and I had to check out. Even my wife was like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I went and looked at the old photo album." Tracy, I know you had those moments, some of you others, and you go look at the photo albums and you start thinking about things, and you pull yourself, you, for me, sometimes it's a dark space. It could be a dark space because, sometimes all I can say to you guys is this, and I know I do this a lot. I cut off and go into this and cut off. If your mom or your dad or whatever is still here, talk to them every day. I mean, it doesn't have to be a long conversation. It doesn't have to be. It's just, hey, how you doing? You doing good? You there? You fine? Just talk to them every day. Say something, because you never know. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody. This is the truth. You never know the last time you'll hear their voice. And make sure the last time you hear your mom or your dad's voice, make sure y'all talking about something sweet, something good, because that's going to be, you'll always remember the stuff that was, that was, I don't want to say toxic, but you'll always remember the shit that y'all talked about when she got on your case about something. You know what I mean? You'll always remember all of the checking she did on you. She checked your ass on stuff. You will always remember that. But what I want to remember about my mother is that I still remember the last conversation that we had. And it was about Wyatt Live. And she was checking my ass on something too. Like my boyfriend, Everhart, he wasn't a bank robber, Rand. Can you imagine your mother telling you that her boyfriend, you said he was a bank robber? Well, Mom, not literally. Y'all know I can say some things sometimes and I don't really mean it the way it come out. Tracy said, let me see that, sis. She said, it's still hard, almost 3 years. People lied to us, didn't they? They lied to us. They said it gets easier. It don't really get easier. It just gets a little bit more, you tend to get a little bit more understanding that they're gone. I know we know the day that they pass, it's over, they're gone. But you live to understand that you're not gonna ever, it's over. And you just deal with it a little. It's not easy, but it becomes a little bit more I don't know how to say it because I don't know the words to describe it. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. All I can tell you is, family, I remember hearing people say what I'm saying right now. I remember people saying, oh man, love your mom tight. Be this and this and that. Because when you lose your mama, she's never coming back. And I miss mine to death. And my mother was healthy. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't take it for granted, but I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. I wasn't really listening. You feel me? I hear them. You know, I would hear them, but I would never really I wasn't really checking it in like they were giving it to me. You know, I wish I would have understood. Yeah, talk to mom every day. And I think men and women are different with their relationships with their mom. I think men tend to let some days go by versus ladies. There's, you know, my wife, she comes from a lady of women of 6, girls of 6, and her mom calls them every day. Each and every one of them have somewhat of a time set. So I know that girls tend to talk to their moms almost every day. At least that's how I've been around my wife for 30 plus years. They speak to their mom every day. When we go on vacation, when we go places, that would be probably the only time that they don't talk at that same set time, but they will talk in that day. If we're in, I don't care if we're in Jamaica somewhere vacationing, my wife will get a call, or she will call her mom and be like, hey, we here and this is what we're doing. Everything's good. And I thought it was a great relationship. Guys don't tend to do that. I can't speak for all guys and I can't speak for all women. I'm just talking about my wife's situation. And some of the women that I know, they do the same thing. Good afternoon, Regina. Hey, Steph. Tracy said manageable. Court Bird. What's up, nephew? He said, I seen it and it went by so fast. He said, oh my God, thanks, big bro. I lost my daddy in April and trauma has no expiration date. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have to agree with that, bro. One of the things I want to talk about. Oh, Carolyn Smith, let me see. Oh, Mama Birch said, my mom is 94. I call her every day at 11:05. I believe that. And you know what? She waiting on your ass, Mama Birch, right there at 11:05. Here's the thing. If you don't call at 11:05 and you call at 11:09, she'll think something's wrong. Because you've probably been doing that for years. You know, those schedules are what they are for us. Carolyn Smith says, yep, I talk to my daughter multiple times a day. My son, I'll talk to him 3-4 times a week. Sounds about right. My mother, the last few years of her life, for 10 years almost, I guess, for 10 years, she lived in Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix, fun city. It's just a city you want to visit. Phoenix is a city that you just truly want to visit. I'm sorry. It's almost 105 degrees in Phoenix almost every day. It's going to hit 100 degrees in Phoenix every day. 98, you know, it could be 95 degrees in Phoenix. And the weatherman will say, and I know this shit sounds crazy, the weatherman will say it's 95 degrees here in Phoenix, but it feels like 110. Now, I take my daughters to try to explain this to me because they're biologists and shit like that. But the truth of the matter is, it's like, if it's 95 degrees outside, but it feels like 109, why isn't it 109 degrees outside? I used to ask those questions. I would say that because if it's 109 feeling outside, it must be 109. They say, oh, no, babe, no, Dad, it's the sunbeams and the sun rays and all this old explanational stuff. And I don't know. Yeah, I just know that to the basic person such as myself, if you tell me it's 95 degrees outside, that means it's 95 degrees outside, not 105 or 109. If it's 109, damn it, if it feels that way, tell me that it's 109. But the truth of the matter is, my wife and I flew out to Phoenix, Arizona when my mom passed. I promise to you guys, soon as we landed, I can feel the heat hit the plane. It was hot inside the airplane soon as we landed. And you know, when you get off the plane, when you stand up and walk toward the little tunnel thing that's connected to the plane, you walk down the tunnel, it didn't have air conditioning in it. And I had never felt so hot when you get off the plane and walk down that little tunnel thing to get to the terminal, I had never felt that hot in my life. It felt like if you had to stay in there 20 minutes, you would probably pass out from heat. You see what I'm saying? You would probably pass out from heat. All right. So yeah, Phoenix is just a place to visit, have fun. They have great restaurants. They have great the mall. You know, if you ever go to Phoenix, make sure you go over to what's the name of that area? We were actually in Phoenix, but we went over to I can't think of the area. It's not that far. It'll come to me. The stadium is in Phoenix, but you can get on the road and drive probably 15 minutes up to somebody help me out if you've ever been there before. I'm drawing a blank, but it's an area in downtown. It's not that far from downtown Phoenix. It's kind of like the suburbs, but it's not really the suburbs. It's like driving from, let's say, downtown Cincinnati to I'd say maybe Tri-County. It's a little bit close. It's probably closer. It's probably half the ride to Tri-County, about 15 minutes from downtown Cincinnati, headed towards the Tri-County way, about 15 minutes. I keep wanting to say Lenox Mall, but that's not what it is. I can't think of what it is. I wish I could call my wife real fast. She'll tell you. What's up, Roz? What's up, Jack? Great malls there, great restaurants, great places to eat. The nightlife is pretty good, but I didn't really try that because Phoenix is kind of gangster. I'm not even gonna lie. Phoenix is rough. Phoenix is drug infested. Scottsdale. Thank you, Court. God, nephew, I was dying. I couldn't even think straight until I get that right. Go to Scottsdale. Okay, that is where. Now it's not. Glendale is nice too, Tim. But go to Scottsdale, okay? If you go to Scottsdale, that's where the mall is. That's where the nice, look, Phoenix, Arizona, there's no in between. I don't think there's a middle class. You either got it or you don't. And you can clearly see where the don't is, and you can clearly see where the they got it is. So I would push out of Phoenix, to be honest with you. Go up further north to Scottsdale. And the reason why I say that, family, is because Phoenix is dangerous. Phoenix, Arizona. It's a wonder you don't hear much about that on television. If you're there, you cut the news on, you'll see how dangerous Phoenix, Arizona truly is. If the heat don't kill your ass, that gang violence certainly will. I'm telling you. I just didn't understand. Twin said, I thought Phoenix was good. Well, it all depends on, how you living. It's like anywhere else. It all depends on how you live in. If you're involved in there's plenty stuff to get involved in there. There's a lot to get involved in Phoenix, bro. A lot. Scottsdale is probably the nicest area I had been to in that area, like in the Phoenix, Arizona area. They have pretty much everything that you need if you want to stay out of the way. They have nicer hotels. They have, it's just pretty. It's pretty nice in Phoenix. I mean, in Scottsdale. The mall, I'll refer it to as Cincinnati Mall. It's Kenwood Mall in Scottsdale 4 times. You see how big Kenwood Mall is? Well, Scottsdale Mall is probably 3 or 4 of those Kenwood malls. Same high-end stores. It's really nice. The only problem that I see in that area is, there's no water to match all that heat. For it to be so hot there, you would think that a beach or something would be there, or some type of, you know what I'm saying? The ocean, something. No, it's like a desert. Everything's dry. They don't get rain. And when it somewhat, what they call a storm hits, it's really, anybody ever heard of a dust storm? I mean, you've heard the phrase, but have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen a 1/4 of an inch or a 1/2 inch of dust on top of your car like it was snow? Phoenix, Arizona has dust storms. And what's crazy about that is it's just like snow. All right. And it sticks to your car and it's like I just didn't understand why my mother wanted to be there. She loves the heat, but I didn't understand that. There were so many different places. Now I know she could drive to LA. You could go to California. You could be in California. Like it's like driving to the border of California is like driving from Cincinnati to maybe Cleveland. See what I'm saying? It's about the same distance. You can get to LA in 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So you are somewhat centrally located. You can go somewhere and you know, that is kind of one of them areas where you can get to Burbank, you can get to a lot, you can get to different cities from, you know, it's almost like Cincinnati. I keep saying Cincinnati is centrally located as far as I'm concerned. I can get to some really major cities from Cincinnati within 5 hours. Like Chicago. Like that's a great drive from Cincinnati to Chicago, 5 hours, 5.5 hours, maybe 5 on a good day, sunny day. You know, you could get to Milwaukee in 6 hours. You know, I love NBA games. You can get to Indianapolis in an hour and 15 minutes. You see what I'm saying? I love the NBA, so I like to, you know, watch games. I love to go to college games. So Cincinnati is one of the reasons why I'll always have a home in Cincinnati, because it's so centrally located to the things that I like to do. All right. What was that? Yeah. What's up, Terrence? TG. Where was that? Oh, he said, Terrence said, dust storms when the sky appears reddish orange and blows in like rainstorm, and it hurts. I've never been in one, but I can imagine, because I've been around. Have you guys ever been in your neighborhood and the wind blows and those leaves tend to start circling up like a little mini tornado? And then that dust, it has those sprinkles of dirt and dust in the swirl, and it hits your body a little bit. My mother explained that to me, and she said, Rand, imagine that coming in at 50 or 60 miles an hour. That dust off the ground, that sand and the little bitty rocks coming in and hitting you at 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour. They recommend they shut down the city for that, like we do snowstorms in the city of Cincinnati. So it's the same type of thing. I just don't know why people would want to live there unless you have a great job. I can say this to you. Phoenix was impressive when it came down to tech. That's where a lot of our tech companies go, because it's a flat surface. They do a lot of testing out there. YU is one of the companies that I was looking into. They're a private company, but that's the self-driving cars, the cars that are Jaguars, and they're self-driving cars. My brother Corvell, who I Sandbox, we went to school together. He told me just the other day that the YO cars are in Atlanta now. The self-driving cars, where you Google or you do the Uber pickup and all that, they're in Atlanta now, the self-driving cars. So the taxis are about to take a hit. Uber is about to take a hit. We were talking about this the other day about the AIs and all that taking over. Well, it didn't hit Atlanta. And Black folks in Atlanta, we're a test market. And once it becomes cool to get in the YU cars, or once it becomes cool and suave and all that, we'll probably never take an Uber again. You see what I'm saying? When you can get a car and it's self-driving, and you can leave the clubs and not worry about a DUI or not worry about Waymo. Waymo. Thank you, Troy. Waymo. That's the name of the company. I brought some video, I guess about a year and a half ago. I brought some video of the cars. Yeah, Sierra, yeah. Are you talking about Waymo cars? What did I call them? Waymo? What did I call them? I'm not sure, but Waymo. I did a show on them here before. And I was amazed, because when we got to Phoenix, I seen all these white cars riding down the street with these, not antennas, but these radars on the top. And I was wondering, why are all these Google cars? Because they look like those Google map cars. They look, and it's a Jaguar, okay? They look like a Google map car. It looks like a car that's taking photographs and redrawing the map for like MapQuest or something like that. That's what it looks like it's doing. But what they are their self-driving cars, and they're, driving people around. They're the taxis. And Uber's, I don't see how they're going to stay in business. I don't know how they're going to stay in business because they're cheaper. The ride is much cheaper. It's less time for a wait. They have the same thing that Uber does with the partnership driving, where you and somebody else could take the same car if you want to and partner up on it. It's all electronic. It's digital. All you do is put in where you're going, and it'll get you there automatic. You know what I'm saying? You put in the address where you want to go, where you're picked up, where you want to go. Guys, the future is here. And once Waymo hit, thank you for the correction, guys. Once Waymo hit Atlanta, it's just a matter of time before it hit the Midwest. I mean, once they start making some of that ATL Georgia money, it's gonna be different. Okay, they've been out on the West Coast for years. They're in San Francisco now. It's just gonna be different. Let me see if I can show you something real fast, if you guys don't mind. Let me see what I named it. It was something crazy. See if I have it here. Yeah. If you don't mind, let me show you this video from like a year and a half ago when I was in Phoenix, Arizona. Let me see if I have it here. Yeah, check this out. This was me and my wife. I believe this is this video. I have two videos. I'm not quite sure which is which. But this video right here was me pulling up on one of the Waymo cars for the very first time. Now, I've talked about this before, but just happens to be in the conversation for today. Check it out. How is this car driving with nobody in the driver's seat? Like, how is that even possible? What the hell? What the LL Cool J is that right there? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Nobody is driving that car. Look at this. And there's a ton of them here. A ton of them. Nobody is driving that car. And if you don't believe me, I'm gonna let it take off here at the light here in a second. Look at this shit here. Nobody is driving the car. Self-driving cars is the future. This is nuts. That is nuts. How is this car driving with nobody in the driver's seat? Like, how is that even possible? What the? Guys, give me a minute. I think I may have burned this some time ago. And let me see if I can get this right. My apologies, guys. My apologies. I don't know why I was not able to show it, but I'll do the best I can. Let me see if this is the answer. How is this car driving with nobody in the driver's seat? Like, how is that even possible? What? All right, screen is all black. I'm sorry. It's on my phone. I don't know why it's not able to be seen. I think that may have happened last time as well. I don't know. I recorded it on my phone and then I just sent it over here to the system here, and it just, for some odd reason, it's just not showing. I don't know why. What I'll do is I'll burn it another time and let you guys see it. I trust and believe what I was showing you was real. It was definitely cars driving, and I sound like a kid in a candy store. And my wife was like, "Calm down, calm down." And the first thing came to my mind, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. The first thing that came to my mind was, how do I get in on this? And then the second thing that came to my mind is, if they're already on the road, I'm way too late. Let me just see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to show it to you another time. I can see it on my screen, but it's not showing up on the screen for you guys. Let me just see something here. Yeah, it's not showing up for you guys. I'll try to re-record it and try to put it on maybe in the Wyatt Live Messenger group or put it on my page or something of that nature so you guys can see it. And I'm wondering to myself, how do I get into that? You know what I mean? How do I, because that's the future. That's the future. Jenny, what's up, sis? She says Tesla can drive themselves, Wyatt, but it's just not allowed in the state of Ohio. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that Teslas have self-parking and they do the self-driving. My car actually have driver assistance, but it doesn't have the capability of putting an address in it, and it just gets you there with the combination of self-drive and Google Map. You know what I'm saying? Like I have what they call assistant driving or something like that. It's called assistant driving, where if I'm on the expressway, if I cut the cruise control on and the assistant driving, it does have the capability of doing highway driving on its own, and it'll beep. I don't have to steer or anything. It'll beep and let me know when things are coming within the, within the perimeter of, I think it's within 3 feet, to be honest with you. I don't really like that. Maybe the car manufacturer that I drive they don't have it mastered yet. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't have it to the point where, because all I get is a bunch of beep, 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 because it beeps at speed bumps. It like bumps in the road. It see bumps and it'll beep, like beep, beep, beep. It's just too much for me. It's too much for me. And I'm at an age right now, y'all, where if I'm behind the wheel, I gotta be driving. I have to be driving. So, Steph says, yes, they're on YouTube. Good afternoon, Alethea. She said, good afternoon. Great afternoon, everyone. Why I send the love to all you. I seen my nephew in that picture there. I seen that. Was it his picture day? Just so happens I was talking about picture day yesterday. And then you pop up with nephew on picture day with a tuxedo on. He looked much more clean than I did. My hair wasn't combed and my jacket was rough. Twin says, Ninja gonna be using that Waymo for lick moves. I doubt it. Let me go to the phone lines. I got a caller that's been waiting. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Then I'll
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up? CK.
Yeah, this is Cincinnati King, man. How you doing, Randall Wyatt, man? You got a great show on Wyatt Live. I was listening to you, sir.
Hey, what's going on, man? What's on your mind, brother?
Hey, man, I wanted to talk to you about the assassinated victim that was shot last week.
Okay.
Yeah, that was wow. 31 years old, Wyatt. 31, 2 children, wife. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
2 children, wife, 31. Now, you must be careful with your rhetoric. And like I said, then I will say now, if you're going to speak about victims of black on black violence, speak highly or condolences, rest in peace. What's your thoughts, Wyatt?
I didn't quite get what you just said on the end of that. You said if I'm going to speak about black on black violence, what?
Yeah, if you're going to speak on Chicago, okay. Now, I'm not speaking to you directly. I'm speaking to the other team. And when I say other team, I mean racist.
I hear you.
Like a white or a Mexican.
Yeah.
For example. So if you're going to speak on like Chicago violence or Cincinnati black on black violence, I think if you're going to speak publicly, you should speak highly and condolences and RIPs. I wanted to get your thoughts on that, sir.
Meaning when we talking about black on black, you saying? Or you mean?
Yeah. If you're white, like Charlie was, the victim guy. Mm-hmm. What was his name? Charlie Shrek?
Charlie Kirk,
what was his name?
I believe.
Yes.
Kirk.
The way Captain Kirk was speaking, he should have been saying, okay, for example, if I'm him, I said, okay, rest in peace to the families lost in Chicago. Mm-hmm. We hope the violence will stop. So you speak in that manner. You don't make fun of those people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's a lot of pain. It's a lot of pain.
Right, but who was doing that?
That's what he was doing, sir. He was making fun of the African American dead people in America, such as Trayvon and the people in Chicago violence.
He was making fun of them?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, here's what I say. And I tell all my brothers and my sisters who I talk to about this on sidebars, okay?
Yes, sir.
I don't care what people say and how they make fun of what we doing over here. I don't care. I think we worry too much about people that don't give a shit about us or don't care how we move, and we care so much that we get in our emotions about how they doing and what they doing, and it distracts us from doing what we need to do. That's what I say about that. I mean,
come on,
people
sir,
don't have to agree
you
with
heard
me.
how I opened up. I said the wife and 2 children. So we all care about the victims of violence. But I'm saying the person we care about is the victim. So to prevent him from dying, he should stop, not speak publicly like that, because he has children to look out for. And this is for the next potential victim. Do you understand, Wyatt?
I hear what you're saying, CK, but what you're saying is you telling people that they shouldn't say what they want to say. All
Exactly.
right?
If you want to live, sir. But not publicly.
Well, I mean, you know, everybody choose their own way of doing things, bro. Like if he chose to say what he wanted to say and then he knew the consequences, I'm sure that man knew the repercussions of some of the things he was saying. That's why
Why would you say that? You talking about murder? You think that 31-year-old kid knew that murder was on the horizon for the words he was speaking? Or did he think that he had the right and nobody would touch him?
Nah, I don't know. I don't know what was in his mind. I know there's certain things that I can't say that will offend people, and there might be some consequences behind it. I know that.
Sir, you're a man of God. You went to Walmart and you survived. And that was a serious threat on you, upon your family, and you made it because of God. See? But he was not. He was making fun of those who was victims of violence in Chicago.
Listen, man.
Consequences, sir.
Exactly.
You don't do that. I don't do that. He did. He's gone.
Okay, and what's okay? And now what? You think
you learn, sir. You learn from Eazy-E. You learn from Captain Kirk. You don't want to be a victim, sir.
Bruh, don't you want to worry about like what we got going on? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I never heard of the guy, sir, until he was gone. That's all I'm saying. I am about stopping the violence. I'm a man of Dr. King, Malcolm X. That's what I come from. I cut from that cloth. Reverend Shuttlesworth, Fred, that is.
But don't you believe that people bring violence among themselves sometimes?
Yes, my guy Tupac did. King Von did. Yes, he did. Tupac, he brought violence on himself, and I miss that guy. He had great music. Wyatt.
Okay. All right. All I'm saying to you, bro, is you pick and choose what you do in life, and there's consequences, there's rewards, there's so many different reactions to what we say and what we do, right? Yes. And if you know some of the consequences of what you say and what you do could cost you your job, could cost you your life,
right?
You decide if you want to go down that rabbit hole or not. You sign up for it when you decide to go do that, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's just like a stunt man in Hollywood, right? He knows that he's playing a stunt.
The dangers.
He has the dangerous contract. He signs up to be the star's backup to jump on cars and run through burning buildings. That's his job, right? He signs up for it. And if he don't make it home one day, he knows that what he did and what he signed up for is part of his job. That's part of.
But remember, we got so far past that, sir. We haven't seen an assassination since when? 73? Before we was born? When the last time you seen an assassination, sir? When was the last time, Wyatt? Before this?
I don't know, bro. Listen, man.
Thank you. So he felt safe. He had never seen an assassination in his lifetime, and you telling me that he thought about he could die? No, he would have to have seen it like me and you. We seen King and Malcolm get assassinated, so it's in our DNA. He didn't have that in him. The last white boy to get killed was JFK. That was before him.
So let me get this straight. What about the 2 Democratic politicians that got killed in their own home in Minnesota? You just forgot about them?
That was a little slicky. It wasn't no killing in front of. Listen, that's a murder. That's a homicide.
Right. It was a murder. That's not
an assassination at a speech.
Yes, it is, bro. It's an assassination when you go in and you kill somebody for their political beliefs. And these were 2 Democrat. It was I think the lady was the representative and her husband just happened to be home or whatever, but she was a Democrat, and I don't hear anybody talking about that. They don't talk about that.
What was the race of these victims? Please tell me, sir.
They were white.
Oh my God.
You don't remember that?
Did they get the killers? Did the killers get arrested?
Yeah, I believe they did. It was the guy who was dressed up like a police officer.
Oh my God.
Are you trying
So
to say
you're
that
telling
you only,
me?
are you just,
I'm sorry.
are you only paying attention to what people put in front of you, or do you kind of go see some things for yourself, or are you just repeating, you know, people's talking points, and that's what you want to be angry about? Because the killing goes both ways. You see,
sir, I'm going off assassinations where, like, so you saying Dr. King getting shot at the hotel is not an assassination? That's like a murder, like the same thing
no,
you're
I
saying
mean,
with the Democrats.
no, not like Trennis Brown, Black Popeye just said it. He said you have to use a rifle for it to be called an assassination. Now, I don't know if that is true. It sounds,
Okay.
you know, it sounds. I thought
it sounds good.
Well, no, honestly, I thought an assassination was someone that was killed because someone was trying to stop them from their political beliefs, and you know, that's just in my mind my mind definition. I've never looked it up because it's not really on my radar. But what I'm saying to you is this killing and all that stuff happens on both ends. That's why I don't.
Yeah, but I was not aware about. You said Democrats, so this is the first conservative we lost since Abraham Lincoln.
I don't know.
On assassination?
That's what
I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. If you haven't had a Republican murder since Abraham Lincoln, that was before television. It wasn't even electricity back then. So, of course, he felt safe in his rhetoric. Wyatt, I'm trying to teach the young people, don't follow his footsteps. You cannot say what you want to say publicly. There's bullets and consequences behind it, sir. We will be irresponsible not to tell them that.
I'm going to say this to you, bro. Maybe you'll understand it. Maybe some other people will understand it. I don't get into that. I don't even really care.
Okay.
Let me tell you why I don't care. Because I got little brothers and sisters dying on my streets where I grew up, and ain't nobody talking about that the right way. Let's fix that. Fuck all that assassination shit. Are those kids downtown getting assassinated? What are they dying for? What's the reason why they dying? What's the purpose? And why aren't people talking about it like they talking about it?
We talked about it yesterday. Remember, I called you crying yesterday about the young lad.
No.
I called you crying about the young lad. The guy that died. I've seen this people happen. And I told you we have to speak against the retaliation because you have to have foots on the ground. So that's the hard part, to teach people out of the retaliation. That's when you get in your hands dirty. You understand me, Wyatt? So when you dealing with that type of trauma and you're dealing with people ready to commit right back on retaliation, you are the angel to stop that.
Who?
You, me. Whoever grown man with grays in their beards. That's our responsibility. And that's just how we stop the violence.
Well, that's why
because most of the violence is retaliation. It's retaliatory, sir. You know this.
Yeah, I understand that. And that's why I try to focus on my community, because people are not. Hey, can you cut your device down a little bit, CK? Because I can hear myself.
Yes, sir.
There had to be a reason why that's. Yeah, I can hear you. Thanks for doing that.
Okay.
There has to be a reason why that 16-year-old got killed downtown in broad daylight, and another one, a 15-year-old, got shot next to him. And he's in the hospital, critical condition. I believe he's going to come home. No, I think he overcame his bullet wounds. There had to be something to that, right?
Right.
Okay, what? Why aren't we talking about that shit? Why aren't we worried about what's going on?
We are. You're talking about he's coming home. He was in there 2 weeks,
We got a war. I'm not talking about because I bring it up all the time. I'm talking about those that want to talk about people making all this money and these political people that are think tanks and making millions of dollars, and we worried about who getting fired and all that old shit, but we ain't worried about our kids getting fired on in our communities. We're not asking the people that can make that shit stop. We're not holding them accountable. We're not really putting their feet to the fire. I don't understand why we talking about all the other stuff. We are in arguments that don't really concern us in the forefront. We are. That's just my opinion.
But sir, I just want you to understand that
now, hey,
the victims are the pawns also.
Hey, BHF, DMC Kane, is it? He said, is it gang related? No, they don't have gangs in Cincinnati.
Yes, exactly. That's a fair point. And just understand that the victims are pawns because we're suffering and we're we're profiting also. You see what I'm saying? Because it's all consumption. We're working all of this. We have family in law enforcement. We have people in hospitals and morgues and everything. So everything is conjecture. Everything is corrupt. So you have to understand, you have people acting like they sad, but really, you have to fill those stats. You have to fill those penitentiary bars up with people, predominantly black people.
Well, look, I think going back to the original point that you were trying to make, when people take on tasks, take on jobs, and they're getting paid to do it, they understand what they sign up for. That man's family understood what he was saying. He didn't have bodyguards and all that stuff standing next to him for no reason.
Right, no need for him. It's like DJ Vlad. He doesn't need a bodyguard. Adam 22, they are white. We're the ones that need bodyguards. You have to keep your numbers down on YouTube, then your life would be in danger. But I'm saying if you had numbers like them, then you would be a threat to the nation. But they're feeding the monster what they want to hear, the gangster stuff. They don't want to hear this Wyatt stuff, 4 million subscribers. So you have to understand, we're starting off with low numbers, but we're making differences one person at a time. Just change one life at a time. And I know you said you want to catch all the fish in the sea, but I'm still doing it I ain't got the resources at this point, Wyatt, but I do appreciate your platform for helping me, save lives. You know what I mean?
Okay, brother. I think I understand where you're coming from. I think you're trying to say, let's cut down on the rhetoric. Let's cut down on what we're talking about. And because it brings violence. And you say if they stop saying certain things, then the violence will stop. Instead of saying, let people say what they want to say, we don't have to be violent. We just gonna say, let's not say what we want to say, so we won't be attacked with violence. And I don't think that's fair, because that's how Dr. King died. Dr. King died because he said what was necessary to be said, and now we're going to how would it have felt if we would have been trying to tell Dr. King and Malcolm X, don't say that to us, and then they got killed by assassins, right? I mean,
don't say the chickens are coming home to roost, sir. You have a kid, you have children, you have 5 children, Mr. Please don't say the chickens are coming home to roost publicly. That's all.
What I'll say to that is this: I believe that Malcolm X had so much going on in his life that he knew that his time was coming to an end, and he knew probably what direction it was coming from. I'll honestly say that. I've done enough study of Malcolm to know that
and just take a page out of my book. You see, when I speak publicly, I speak highly, and I prayers and God bless everything. Just use positivity. Nobody gonna be trying to kill you. Now, if I was on here talking, threatening you and threatening your family, yes, that would make me a target, sir. So I put blessings out there, so I'm blessed. Do you understand, sir?
Oh, I truly understand. I understand so much that I live by that. I believe that karma is not a dirty word. I believe you live. Those that give receive, and those that take end up getting less. So I have
no bullet holes in my body, sir. None. 0.
Okay.
I know how to survive because I treat people the way I want to be treated. I don't shoot people because I don't want to be shot.
No, I understand.
Yes, sir. God bless the family, man. I'm going to continue to listen and bless all the commenters in the comment section.
All right. Hey, CK, I appreciate you engaging with us today. Okay, bro?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, bro. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Appreciate CK engaging. It's them gears once again. It took me away from I don't even remember what I was talking about, to be honest with you. But, here's why I appreciate CK, regardless of how I may take it, or how we take it sometimes. He engages. He at least calls. He says hi. He's complimentary. I love the fact that he comes in and he's consistent. He doesn't come in, he's pretty consistent in what he says and how he feels about things. And I have to appreciate that. There's somebody in the Wyatt Live world out here that listens to TK and is sitting there with their popcorn and they're like, I get it. I know what he's saying. I get it. That's my favorite caller. That's my favorite guy. There's somebody saying that. I promise you. Because I like CK enough to continue to answer the phone. I don't have any restrictions by saying, hey, man, every other day or every other day or only on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays are we having calls. I don't do that. I think I get where CK is going, where he's trying to take his point. I get it. He just has a strange way of getting there sometimes. Let me go back to the phone lines real fast before I get on. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, I know they don't like eating popcorn when I get on.
What do you think they eating when you get on, twin?
Smoking a blunt, I've turned into General Hospital or something.
I doubt it, bro. I doubt it. What's going on, man? How you doing today?
I'm a slow my road, though, man. I was listening to the.
Can we have a day? Can we have a day without you crashing out? Can today be that day? You think?
I don't know.
Okay.
It depends on
Let's
the
work on it.
conversation, what floats my boat.
Oh, so you don't have anything in particular to talk about? You have
I can say what I want to if you allow me on this platform.
I allow
but
people
if
to say
I'm
whatever they want.
disrespectful and all that, you can say, Twin, calm that down. This your show, not my show.
No. I understand.
I respect you as a man. If you say, Twin, we not gonna talk about that. Hey, I got a lot of topics. Hey, you know, I turn up. I turn like the weather. But if I got something to talk about, what's on my mind and heart, if you agree or don't talk about, I have to respect you.
No,
in
I
your
get
show.
it. I get it, bro.
It's your show. This not my show.
You keep trying to remind me of that. I get that. Okay, I'm just saying.
Okay, you can be. It's a stopping point. And that's
did you get mad at me, twin? Because I said let's try not to crash out. Is that why we going in circles right now?
No,
okay.
no. I'm just saying. If I feel what's on my heart, if I'm out my body, whatever, hey, feel free to stop.
All right. What's on your mind
But
today, though, bro?
I was blessed. I mean, I'm blessed today and everything. I got emotion. I had to turn you off. You were telling my OGs and stuff earlier, man, and
yeah.
At that time, it's too emotional, man. Too emotional. But I can't complain, man. I love my mom. Man, I love my mama to death. And the last thing I can say, Wyatt, the last thing she sent me a birthday card and jail. I'm like, twin, what profit a man to gain the whole world to lose his soul? A Bible quote. And she said, time is here. Time is almost up. God soon to come. And I tried to talk to her on the phone, and she was going through a respiratory stage, and I said, "Man, don't talk. It's hurting. You don't talk." And that's the good thing. Me, I still got that car, and I cry every time I see it. Like, man, it's the last thing she told me on this car. Sent to me or said something. And she always used to say something like, "Tony, why you do this? Why you do this? Get your right. Get yourself right with God and all that." Okay, ma, okay. But I get emotional every time. And the devil is alive. When they say it's gonna be okay, no, I don't know. They made that up like you said, right? Because we are, I guess what they call it, rituals or some traditional. That's what it is. Every tradition, it was traditional every Sunday or Saturday or Friday or Sunday.
Okay.
Barbecue or fish day or Sunday food or something like that. We'll all be around the table. My daddy fish fry every Friday, barbecue Saturday, we cook Sunday. But sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But like the birthday, Mother's Day, and all of Mother's Day come around, you get emotional, Wyatt.
I understand. I know,
man.
I do. I do almost every day, twin, to be honest with you, because a lot of the stories that I tell, like that yesterday, I told a story about school picture day. I still remember my mom and I having that conversation.
Your nephew did look like you.
Yeah, those things bring back a lot of memories. But
yeah.
All right, so what else you got, man? Let's get off our moms because you're driving me down that alley of being sad.
I know. Hey, Wyatt, did you ever take a picture, man, in that remember that player old school? I know everybody took one. In that old player school basket looking chair back in the day, that little straw brown looking chair. You took a picture in one of those.
I know exactly the chair you're talking about with the round back on the back of it.
The chair.
Let me just be honest with you, bro. That was a little bit before my time. I was a young guy, and it looked like the teenagers or the pre-adults, they were taking pictures in that. I didn't grow up. I know the pictures. I know them. It's the same time frame where they had y'all know this, the rug that was really they put on the wall as a picture, and it was all the dogs sitting around playing poker. Yeah, see, I was young when I seen that, but I can remember it. No, I never was in a club. I wasn't old enough at that time. I think that might have been probably the end of the 70s. You know what I'm
No, they
saying?
was doing it. They did with my sister and them went.
Okay, what year? Like
Yeah,
what time
my
frame was that?
sister and them I got one way older than you. She's gone, but my brother and all them, they about your age.
Well, I'm just
So
telling
they,
you, bro. Maybe they was sneaking in clubs and shit, but that's what they was doing in clubs. Everybody, some people, like my mama had one of them chairs. It just wasn't as big as the one in the clubs. But I
yeah,
remember people taking pictures in the clubs because we would have the pictures at home, and they would be in the wicker chairs, and they would all stand around the chair, and sometimes somebody sit in the middle. And yeah, I remember those pictures, but I never was in them because I was young. See, Jenny
yeah.
said in the 80s. So I'm like from, I was born in 70. Okay. So in the 80s, I'm early 10 I'm 10 years old at you know what I'm saying? In 1980, I'm not 10 until December. So, if we're talking about 82, 83, I'm still 10 or 11 or 12 years old at that time. See what
No,
I'm
no,
saying? Y'all
no.
remember Night Flight, Disco Night Flight that used to be down at it used to be Holiday Inn down there, but now it's some other shit in Cincinnati. It was called Night Flight. That was back in them days. I think I was about 12, 11 or something like that. I was in a different, yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that Rainbow cars and all that. And I've
Waymo.
seen it, Rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing and I've seen it in that thing. I'm like, oh wow. I
Yeah.
guess no more taxis and Uber drivers no more.
And guess what? It's cheaper. Plus, you don't have to leave a tip. Like I tend to, when I go to cities,
Oh,
I'll tip a driver. When
mhm.
I was in Cleveland last weekend, and I drove from Cincinnati, but I kept my car at the hotel, and I just Ubered everywhere I wanted to go. And Uber trips where I was going was $7, $8, $10, and I would throw a couple dollars on there for a tip too. It all depends on if it was a $7 ride, I always gave them $10. If it was a $12 ride, I'd give them $15. But when you use those Waymo cars, you're not gonna have to tip. You're not gonna have to do any of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Hey,
it saves money.
I don't know if people in the chat on here can relate. I don't know if it was this year or last year prior to. I think Lincoln on the news talked about it was a bar or some gathering. They was talking about you can bring your kids there and you can sit
bar?
outside and have a drink or something like that.
A bar?
I think it was something like either bar or some restaurant downtown. I believe it was gonna be close to where that the young fella got shot the other day, Tuesday on Grant Park or something like that. If I can recall, it was something supposed to happen. They supposed to have I don't know if it can't be a bar. There's got to be some type of gathering. You can bring your kids and they can watch your kids as you drink or something like that.
Like when you go out to a club and you can take your kids and they in another
you can
room
take your kids and you
I
can
don't know
take
nothing about that. I've never heard
yeah,
of that.
they talked about it last year if I can recall.
Yeah, the last time I heard of anything close to that was you going out and getting a babysitter when you went to the club. You go get a babysitter, and that's where you left your kids.
No, you can come. I don't know if it was the parents was being stressful. I'm gonna Google it again and bring it up. I'm trying to find it. I can recall either he brought somebody in the station or he mentioned or it was on TV, and I believe it's supposed to be over there by Grant Park because they was talking about how it was a lot of shootings and everything, and people be hanging out drinking almost like a beer summit or something like that.
Okay, but what's the point of it? What you asked? I've never heard of it, but what are you saying? What are you saying about it?
No, I'm just saying. Over there, they hit it on the news. They was talking about Grant Park and all that. I'm like, what are cameras and all that y'all supposed to have over here? See, like you said earlier, we focus on the Trump thing and Jimmy Fallon, the Charlie Kirk guy, but why we not focus on what's really happened? Them dudes, so let me tell you something, Wyatt. what I saw on social media
Hey,
Wednesday.
hold on.
Them
Aaliyah,
guys,
hold on, bro. Aaliyah Williams said Washington Park. Does that ring a bell? I don't know. I don't know what you're
I
talking.
know with some park or something like that they was talking about.
Okay.
It might not have been Grand Park. I know they mentioned a park that they was talking about.
Okay.
I know, I remember that.
So let me ask you, Twin, because I don't know, and I want to make this straight. Are you saying that there's a club or some area?
I don't know if it was like it was somewhere downtown. I can recall that. It's somewhere downtown.
All
they
I'm saying,
supposed to have.
all right. I don't care where it is. I'm just gonna ask you, what is it that they doing, bro? Is it a place that you can take your kids while you party and they watch your kids, and then when you finish partying,
you go in some area. The kids, I think they go watch your kids or something. There's some type of area where your kids can play it while you go chill on the patio or something like that.
Isn't that what I just said?
Huh?
That's exactly what I just said. I said, is it a place that you can go party? You can take your kids and they go somewhere else, and then when you finish partying, you pick your kids up.
My bad. Yeah.
I didn't hear anything about that.
I don't know. Yeah, it was like last year before last, they was talking about bringing it up.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Huh?
I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know if I agree with that.
Oh, well, that's what they was talking about. But yeah, man, I was looking the other day. Wednesday they was talking about I know they were talking about the young fella died Wednesday, the 16-year-old down on Grand Park downtown. Man, they so disrespectful, these young guys, man. They put on there, yeah, I'm glad he gone and all that. I said, what? And then they call themselves Street Gangs HV.
Oh, you mean there's gangs downtown? Oh, imagine that.
No, HV from Mount Airy. They got HV, what is it? BT, ST, and SH, something.
Yeah, they all must be new. They all must be new, Twin, because we've been told in our community that there's no gangs. So I'm just gonna assume.
They shake up and all that. I'm like, what? And I said, what you call yourself? And I had to go see it for myself. So yesterday I went out there and I stood, and I know a couple of people out there down there. Yeah, I was like, hey, Shorty, what's that? He said, we HV. I said, HV. I said, oh, okay. What is that, Hawaiian Village or something like that? He said, bro, you don't even want to know. I said, oh, I don't want to know. So I started laughing. I walked away. He said, you ain't from me. I said, I live in Cincinnati. I'm from Chirac. Oh, you from 63rd? I said, no, I ain't from over there, Oak Block. I said, I stayed on 63rd. I'm not from Oak Block. He said, man, no, I don't. Man, this shorty something else, man. But we want to focus on.
Aaliyah said, she said, Nokia boys.
The who?
There's some guys out there called the Nokia boys.
Yeah. Man, it was crazy, man. And these shorties crazy, but I just don't understand why. But I'm just chill, man, and get off this social media because I think so disrespectful people and that, man. I ain't into all that. If you're not, and I'm gonna tell too, to be honest, I don't care who snitch like y'all always do. Y'all too childish for me, but I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna just go slow down on his radio station because, like you say, they don't teach anything about positive situation, man. What's really going on in life? Y'all play too much, man.
I have an idea,
and I'm really feeling this stuff. I'm really trying to grab truth and really feeling like y'all talking. What is this back and forth between? But y'all don't want to really talk about the real situation. And now one of them discuss what's really going on about downtown or what happened to them two people got murdered in Mississippi, got hung at the university. Y'all ain't mentioned none of that, but we want to bring up the issue. Yeah, today this and all that. I'm glad he didn't ban. He didn't stand up for that Charlie White and stuff at the Bengals. Man, what? Man, talk about something real.
I have an idea.
What's up, player?
I have an idea that maybe we can try, and I'll try to support this idea the best I can. How about when you call here, that we just talk about the solutions of the things that are going on in the community, how we can make a change and what we can do to make it better or different.
You know what I got going on Friday.
You gotta let me get it out. You gotta let me finish and then tell me no. All right. Instead of bringing what y'all talked about over there, because you kind of bring frustration, and I can't. I'm on the tail end of the frustration. You feel me, bro? Like I can't fix what's already been done. I would rather you say, hey, Wyatt, I got an idea. What do you think about this? And then let's go at it together and try to maybe farm something that can go to the solution or give us a little bit more, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to talk about what somebody already said and already did and how, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather you come in and be like, what you think about this solution? And I got shot down at this. They don't want to hear me say this or whatever. I'd rather it be in that direction so we can at least come to something, tangible, something that's going to be able to be put in place, and let's rock it and let's make it happen. I'd rather it be that.
True. That's true. But at least we grown ass people or whatever. If you try to say something positive on that note, oh, you just a man. You don't.
But you got here, twin. You got this platform to be as positive as
I understand, but I understand that.
Okay.
I understand all that. True. I understand that. But as you people that's been and living in Cincinnati, you in Florida. So half the things you know, half the things you don't know. But these people engage every day on the station. They live here in Cincinnati. They know what's been going on for the last 40, 50 years and everything. But if y'all keep spitting that same old rhetoric and same old man, shoulda, coulda, woulda, then what do y'all really want? What change do y'all want? Besides this person, that person keep pointing the finger and all that. And I'm trying to listen. I ain't from here. Y'all know all these people. I don't. I'm just trying to learn. And everything, who's right, who's not wrong. I mean, whatever the situation is. But you can't keep on. I try to listen and everything like, man, what any positive thing out of here? Only thing positive, I'm getting some tickets or something like winning some tickets or something. What good message?
That's my point.
I mean, what good message? So but now that I take that little information I do have and bring it to Wyatt, okay, let me see what this guy on. Let me see what Wyatt on. Let me listen to this guy, which I ain't never heard, which I disagree sometimes when I first started listening 3.5 years ago. Let me see what he talking about. And then that's when I jumped on. I'm like, okay. And then I get back like, oh, go listen to Daddy Wyatt. That's your daddy. Go listen.
I know.
Okay. If he my dad and all that and that thing, won't you bring your little cornball ass over here, engage with us, and see what the positive know and what you can bring positive out the situation. That negativity and shit you speaking about, man, holler at that man about. If you got issue with that man or woman, holler at them. And so I'm not with that, man. Well, I'm not with that.
No, I get it, and I understand the frustration. However.
It's gay to me, man. Some gay ass niggas and women out here, man. I don't care who you are.
Well,
and everything. I'm not being no macho man right inside, but one fucking thing you ain't gonna do is keep calling me dumb and stupid. I don't tolerate that nonsense. And everything. Keep that whole shit over there or whatever. Because I'm not no threat and I ain't trying to threaten nobody, but it can come to that.
Well, we don't.
But I want to bring that, man. That's childish to me. I turn from my wicked ways, man. Right, I'm not on that stuff, man.
Right, I get it. And what I'm saying to you is, you don't have to have that energy over here. See what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't have to bring that energy. You could just kind of come here and chill. This is the beach. This is the ocean. You could just sit over here and say, hey, this is what we need to do to fix whatever we need to fix. If they ain't trying to hear me over on planet Zero, then I need to leave planet Zero. Or I could stay there and just not be so involved or engaged. All I'm saying to you, bro, is look, man, I say a lot of stuff that I get attacked for too. You just, but I don't bring it up. I don't, I'm saying, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you people like, occasionally I'll bring up why we need to be fixing certain things that I know that they're talking about other places, because it needs to be said. Because, I mean, how long do you chase a tail before you run out of gas, or you just eventually find out you're chasing a tail? I mean, that's the, do you understand my analogy? Like, the dog that chases his tail. I mean, I don't know how to say it, bro. All I tell you is, like, I get a little frustrated saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. So I just don't.
Okay, this drill right here. Okay, last straw. Tell me, as Wyatt, you've been through the ropes. You know this area. You know. And you know how these people get down. These leaders, local leaders, for years, Wyatt. For years, player. And like my man in the audience on the Wild Lab family in this chat right now, what is the strategy solution of as engaging with these parents and this fuck boy ass shit that these damn local leaders be pushed to these Democrats, and if you don't vote for me and all that and all, you ain't black enough and all that, and light our mind at what is the solution that we can resolve on this situation, keep us thriving and pushing more and more, man. Instead of throwing this old Trump rhetoric in our face, which is ain't nothing but a damn a victimizing manipulation to the mindset of the black people, man. Okay. You can't keep going off them dumb terms, man. That's slave mentality embedded in your mind, man. If you don't vote for it, that's control freak.
Okay.
You control the manipulation, man.
Okay, you ready?
Go ahead, fly.
Okay. I pay attention of how sincere someone may be, when they tend to speak, what they speak about, and what they're doing away from the cameras and things of that nature. I pay attention to that. Okay. Now, I believe that if you have a leader in a community, I don't care what the community is, I pay attention not just to my black community. I pay attention to communities that have already flourished. It's not just white people in this country either. I pay attention to how the Jewish people move. I pay attention how the Latino people move. I pay attention how the Asians move. And all of them do something that we tend not to do. I mean, there's going to be some blowback from me saying this, but I do pay attention to how they control their own economic resources. And until we really have leaders that's talking like that, they ain't really saying nothing to me. If all you're doing is talking about certain things over and over and over again and not addressing some of the real reasons of why certain things are truly happening, like I said, I don't leave anybody behind, but I'll leave them where they are. I just don't have those conversations anymore. I pay attention to the leadership that's telling me honestly what needs to be done. And then I pay attention to the people who are actually trying to provide opportunity, not fix something that could be stopped. I don't believe in putting Band-Aids over bullet wounds. I believe in stitching shit up. Okay, I believe in getting rid of shit that's just bad and has no intentions of ever turning good. I just believe in that. I believe in throwing the bathwater out. I don't believe, you know what I'm saying? I just believe that if you really want our communities to flourish, you would be talking economic Cincinnati. You wouldn't be talking about what everybody doing to us and how rights are being taken, because I believe that equity is self-sufficiency. You can't get equity in something somebody else owns. You only get equity in what you own. I don't care how much stock you buy in a company. You'll never own more than the company just owning stock. You own the company by purchasing and, the company being yours. So the first thing that I pay attention to is not all these programs that's put in place to do certain things. I pay attention to the people who are saying, what we're going to do is we're going to get this shopping mall together. Just like all these Mexicans, and I know that sounds whatever, but if you look at all the Latinos and the Mexicans that come into these cities from these other countries, the first thing, you don't see them walking all around fucking, Kroger up there. They ain't walking crazy through Kroger. They go into those small community stores. They got their little cars and they go spend money with themselves, with people that own those little grocery stores. Occasionally, you might find, one of the Latinos, walking through Kroger or something. You work there. But if you go to some of these suburban areas, and here's the thing, where are all these foreigners? They're not living in the hood. So they must be living in the outskirts in these suburban areas, and they're shopping in suburban stores. And those suburban stores are not like Kroger and Publix down here. They're not that. They're small businesses that they're spending their money in. So for me, the first step is self-sufficiency. How do we get in a position to buy from us, spend with us, and service us? How do we do that? Because that is what we need. That's what you really need in order to spin off all the other stuff that's being taught to us and explained to us. That's the key to it all. You know, there's a reason why they don't teach capitalism in school. It's not for everybody. They don't want everybody to learn it. They don't teach you how to open your own business and run your own business and be self-sufficient in school. If your parents or somebody in your family don't give you a summer job working in the store in the neighborhood or something, you'll never learn it. You ain't gonna learn how to run Kroger by working in aisle 7. You ain't gonna never learn it that way. It's the truth. And there's a reason why they don't teach financial literacy, nor do they teach us in school how to become our own, how to become self-sufficient. They don't want you to own your own businesses because they understand that that's the key to being self-sufficient. And when you do it, you pass it down to your kids. When your kids get it, then they pass it down to their kids. I'm watching the blueprint of other people do it. Yeah, I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, I just want to know your advice on, what is the strategy of black people and everything. That's all I want to know and everything, because I ain't want to hold back. Say one day I'm going to ask this question because I never get it from, Lincoln Ware, he don't have nothing to do. He's the host.
Just
it's just his puppet show cheerleaders. And I really want to know from, as a businessman and everything, the man that show his hand.
Well, here's the difference. Here's the difference. And I'll say this and I'll be honest, and I don't know who's going to think this is shade or whatever. I really don't care. Sometimes people want to discredit me and they find real reasons, and sometimes they find little micro victory reasons to discredit me, because what they want you to do is think what I'm saying is preposterous. They don't want you to think that self-sufficiency, they really want to think it, but what happens is when you become self-sufficient, you really don't have to rely on the people that talk to your ass and tell you so much shit all the time. People don't want to lose the control they have over you, even if they're not financially gaining off of you. Some people go after fun bucks, bro. You know what fun bucks are? It's what they call today clout. When I was growing up, we called it, we called it fun bucks. Like, that was what clout was. Like, I'm doing shit out here for free, but I'm getting all this notoriety for these fun bucks. I'm having fun doing this shit, so I'll do it for free. You know what I'm saying? In today's world, they call it clout. And I'm just saying, bro, some people would rather have you deaf, dumb, and blind to situations just because they know that if you stay in a certain space, that they can talk to you. They can be your leader or whatever the fuck they want to be. I don't know, bro. All I say, it is what it is. I don't know how to say it. I just know that if you look at a lot of black folks in this country, bro, the ones that are doing it are the ones that pretty much, understand that being independent and being self-sufficient, that's the way to go. Those are the ones that really, we all want to try to leave our kids something with our name on it. Leave something for our kids to have when we gone. I stopped living for me 30 years ago. I start living for my kids 30 years ago. See, I stopped living for me 30 years ago. You get what I'm saying? It hasn't been about me for 30 years.
Right.
And that's, I watch Jewish people do it. I watch Asian people do it. And I just thought that since it worked for them, why can't it work for me?
Hey, Wyatt, did you teach your daughters know about, since they're in that medical field, they know about that new AI thing coming about in the hospitals or whatever?
Yeah, I'm sure they know. I'm sure they understand, the future of that industry. I'm sure they know. Are you talking about how they're
eliminate a lot of things? Is they gonna really do? Is they coming about to do what? Surgery on people? So check you and see what you have. Well, how is that coming? I've seen a little bit of it, read a little bit of it, not all the way. What that AI? I don't know if it's coming. What is coming to see what you test you for?
I think
whatever.
I think AI is going to be. I think it's going to take over every industry. I don't even think that laborers will be safe. I was reading something just yesterday on Cincinnati.com. I get these updates. Cincinnati.com said that there is a new, I don't know if it's a Prime Video or Prime. I don't know who it is. It's Prime or one of those places that's opening up a new warehouse up there in Warren County, I believe, in Ohio, close to Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they said there's going to be 125 new workers, but the majority of the workers that's going to be in that same warehouse are going to be robots.
Yeah, they have to cut one warehouse. I thought out there in Kentucky, they say, man, I have to sooner or later in a couple of years, I have to just sit here and listen to this robot sound as they work and everything, make sure everything's functioning right.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
mean,
huh?
I just think that's the future.
Yeah,
and
you say he cut off the dark room. He sit in the dark room and just look at the machine and look out on the warehouse floor and watch the robots work like human beings.
Listen,
I'm like,
brother,
man,
listen, man. I'll be honest
uh,
with you. This is really like, I grew up a geek. Amazon, thank you, Darnell. Thank you, Darnell Hunter. I grew up somewhat of a geek when it came to technology. I never got in the field, but I was a Star Trek-y kind of guy. You know, I used to love Captain
okay,
Kirk
yeah,
and
yeah,
Star Trek stuff. I used to love
yeah.
all that shit. And here it is in real life now. We doing FaceTime like they did. We doing everything but beaming shit up. And I don't know if that's coming next, but I'm just saying. All I'm saying to you is, bro, like, I was into that type of stuff back in those days. I loved it. You know,
Yeah.
anytime you can see a car in 2025, and they've been doing this shit for 10 years now, when you can see a car drive itself based on what address you put in your phone and relay it over to the car, and that car drops you off there, it's just a matter of time before humans are not even necessary in the workforce. It's just a matter
That's
of time.
scary though, right?
Say it again.
Is that scary to you? It's like we living in the Jetsons days or
Well,
something.
Jetsons was one of my
Because
favorite because of the technology.
what got me why years ago when that car went in Florida, there was a car and then it turned into a jet ski almost. I'm like, man, what in cars
Well,
giving
I
her
don't
for
know how
kids?
many people know this.
I mean,
I don't know how many people know this, twin, but there's a car manufacturer that already has close to, I think it's 1,700 cars sold already. They're sold out of cars that fly. You know what I'm saying? They actually fly. I mean, it's a car that flies. And when you said the Jetsons, it made me think of that. And I'm saying to myself, wow, you know, and I said 1,700, it's actually 17,000. It's 17,000 cars that are already sold.
Yeah, I've seen a video.
And I'm like, these cars go up and they take off and they fly so high. And I'm like, wow, it's just a matter of time before all that stuff happens. And all those cars is exactly what we see those Waymo cars are. They're self-driven space cars or spaceship type things. And I think it's coming. It's been in the works for decades, bro. It's just a matter of now, let's see. See, what happens is this. You and I, we're not ready for that. But the generations of kids that grew up in this digital world and cell phone, like my kids grew up in a cell phone world. They grew up in a world where they never knew what a payphone looked like. They don't know how it is to put a dime in a phone or find a phone booth. They don't know any of that. And then the kids, even later than them, they're iPhone 14 or 12 people. So they're 10 years from now, they're not going to understand the way we lived in this world at all. That we're going to look like 1920 or 1930 to those kids with the technology that
you ever go to Japan or China? Why?
I've been to China a few times. And the reason
that's what I had technology. That's where all that stuff coming from, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's more manufacturing. The thinking is not, I mean, you know, to be honest with you, I just think China is what it is. I think they have the manual labor. They're more about labor and, you know, over there than they are. But they're so much more advanced than us because they're where a lot of the what do they call it? The test market is. A lot of test market is there. And,
well, my closing argument, I did see the rest of your boy AB, and man, he did pull some sucker stuff.
Who, Cam?
Yeah, he did, man.
I got
and they clowned him, and not seeing the rest stuff. I'm like, man, he bogus. He reminded me of Vlad, man. How you get them on there? They start talking and all that, and some of them be, I don't know, be pump faking sometimes.
Now,
but
just to clean up something that I said yesterday, I stand on what I said, okay? I'm mad.
You was right. When I went back and saw it, and then I seen the comment, I'm like, man, that was, and the clout chase and everything.
Yeah, not to mention, let me just say this one part because I want to make sure people, because I got a lot of blowback like, oh, you wouldn't say that shit to Cam's face. And I'm like, I probably wouldn't say it to his face but I do feel the way I feel. I'm not trying to enable AB at all. What I'm saying to you guys is this guy wasn't even scheduled to be on his show. He happened, he didn't already said it on video. He said, I seen him at the casino and was like, hey man, why don't you come on up and talk? Why don't you come on? So they knew he wasn't in the all best of shape. All right. And then you brought him on the platform for what? You knew he even said it trying to clean it up, talking about some, well, I thought he was doing pretty good. He seemed to be being able to say some things. And I'm like, nah, bro. Nah, don't do that, bro. And then you did some old flex shit with trying to pay him out the purse and kick him out and all that, bro. I didn't agree with that at all. I think it was a flex move. I think Cam was doing what them New York dudes do. I just can't.
Correct.
Yeah,
all right, nice talking to you, Wyatt, man.
All right, brother. I appreciate
you.
You.
Listen, man. You keep up.
All right, I appreciate you.
All right, Juan.
Thanks for engaging with us. Yeah, I didn't appreciate that. I just don't think that's what you do with somebody if you're trying to be professional. It's almost like if somebody that y'all kind of had some feelings for that listened to the Wyatt Live show and I scheduled an appointment or an interview with them, and they were in the green room and they were going to come in here and sit with me and we were going to sit down and talk, and I knew that they wasn't all the way there and they representing us. No, I would probably have to, fall back. I retract my invitation. I would just be like, well, nah, let's do this another time. Let's do it another time. That's probably what I would say. I have someone on hold here. Let me see. Sorry about that, guys. I got a lot going on at the same time. Okay. My bad. Good afternoon. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Hello, caller. You there? Hold on one second. I can't hear anything. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's going on. The phone is ringing. Okay, there it is. Let's try this again. Let's try it again. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Yes, caller, you there?
What?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's my bad, bro. I hit the button and it fell off. My apologies. Two people were calling at the same time, and I mean literally at the same time. It was ringing, and I had never seen that before. And I hit the accept, and then I had to hit the cancel because it looked like both of you guys were on at the same time. It looked like, so I didn't want that to happen. I don't know who the other person is. I didn't know it was you either. But all right, what's going on? Drop Squad 52. What's good, man?
Hey, did you get my clip I sent you of the hypocrisy in the Democrat Party from Kamala Harris when she was running for president, and she was talking about how her DOJ, her FCC gonna go after people that's trying to destroy democracy and their hate speech, and now the way the way Trump is doing, it's the same thing. They do, and see again why, bro. I hope you see it, and I hope you can play it for your people, because sometimes people need to see and hear the hypocrisy coming straight from them. Because it was just, what, in 2020, when people were against the vaccines, and they was using black folks as see, y'all better get y'all. I mean, Wyatt, the hypocrisy just needs to be exposed, brother.
Well, I did. Matter of fact, I just checked. I got quite a few videos from you. Not just that one you talked.
It's the last one.
Okay.
It's because again, all the other ones, those okay, but the last one is straight from Kamala's mouth. And it's the exact same thing and the exact same problems that Trump is having with the media, spewing lies. The Democrats do the same thing, bro. It's just the tactic. The tactics are the same for both parties, but it's just whether you're in power or out of power.
Yeah.
And right now, Democrats don't control none of the stuff that they did under Biden. And guess who in control of it now? It's Trump. So, I mean, but again, Wyatt, some people maybe have forgotten or they don't remember what Kamala Harris said about this exact
I know
same thing.
You're talking about holding networks and podcasts and streaming
Yes.
systems accountable. I do remember that.
Yes.
And I think I know where you're going
the companies that produce those podcasts and TV shows and everything.
Hold on. I sent it
Bro,
over.
you gotta play it. It's the last one that I sent you.
No, I'm sending it over here. I got it right here. Just hold on a second. I'm gonna play it while you hear, because I haven't seen it like that, but I just sent it to myself. I just sent it to the program here.
Okay, because it's from my Twitter account.
Okay, 1 second.
All right. Yeah. Hey, shout out to the chat. Mary Birch Lavender, Ronald Dixon, LaDonna Howard, the OGs. We go way back, like Cadillac seats.
All right.
Hey, but twin, bro, you need to stop waiting for affirmation from these Negroes, because it ain't gonna happen. Just say what you gotta say. If you're confident in what you're saying, and it's all truth, it don't matter what nobody else says, bro.
Yeah,
you keep doing what you're doing, keep your head up, because everybody knows you black, but you're not a Democrat. So you gonna catch heat. And most of the people that listen to this show, that listen to Lincoln Ware, they Democrats, bro. And they gonna push back. They ain't gonna say, oh, you right, twin. Man, I've been waiting for somebody to say that my whole life. Twin, it ain't happening, bro. So stand on business and keep doing what you're doing, man. Because there's some people out there that agree with you, but they ain't gonna acknowledge it. Yeah, but you done changed a lot of people's mind, bro. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, let me play this clip real fast. I just pulled it up. I think I know what you're talking about. Give me 1 second. Kamala Harris, right? Check it out.
Yep.
Put the Department of Justice of the United States back in the business of justice. We will double the Civil Rights Division and direct law enforcement to counter this extremism. We will hold social media platforms accountable for the hate infiltrating their platforms, because they have a responsibility to help fight against this threat to our democracy. And if you profit off of hate, if you act as a megaphone for misinformation or cyber warfare, if you don't police your platforms, we are going to hold you accountable as a community.
Okay.
You see that shit, Wyatt?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
People you need to hold that clip, bro, because I'm telling you, you might need to play it again or post it on your Facebook. Because again, Wyatt, sometimes people just need to be shown the truth. Because you can't say, if it comes from somebody like a twin or you, oh, you lying, or oh, that's Fox News, that's some shit you. No, this is straight out of her mouth. This is what she would have been doing, the same thing if she would have won in 2024. She would be doing the same thing that Trump is doing, except they would be going for other people like you, Officer Tatum, whoever else is out there that's black and not Democrat.
I think the difference, and if I'm correct me, because this is a field I'm not all that familiar with. But if I'm not mistaken, I think the FCC, they don't have anything to do with like podcasting or streaming or anything, right? Isn't that
no? It's not. No,
so
it's only the
basically airwaves of television, prime television and stuff.
Yes.
So basically, what she was saying there is they're going to go after companies and people that are saying things that are not true. That's what she said in that video in a nutshell, right? And they're going to put their DOJ on people, and that's exactly what Trump is doing. But
Exactly.
okay, I see what you're saying. I just wanted to make sure I was reading it right.
But see, the thing is that you need to point out, not that Trump is doing it. It's the people that support the Democrat Party and support Kamala Harris, the ones that are talking now how bad Trump is. They were talking totally opposite when it was coming from their team. But see, they out of power now, so they got to change up their strategy to try to get their voters back.
Okay.
But again, man, it's just not working because it is social media. See how quick you just did that? You pulled up the hypocrisy. Somebody's going to see that. Somebody might even take this and make a short out of it and post it on YouTube.
Wyatt looked like it was on. It looked like it was already on out there. So I mean, I don't.
Yeah, but that's from my Twitter account. And again, certain things can get out depending on who puts it out.
Yeah.
You see, again, that's why Charlie Kirk is not with.
So is that the one? Is that
today.
The video you were talking? That's the one you sent that you wanted me to play? Is that it?
That was the last one I sent. I said this one is the best out of all the other ones.
Okay. All right. Well,
there's another one straight from MSNBC, but they were talking about the COVID shot.
Okay.
And then I found this one because you know how much shit I post on X, so I had to dig deep, and I finally found it. So, so that's it, bro. That's it. And again, twin, stop, bro. It ain't gonna happen. Ain't nobody gonna give you what you want, especially after what you just said on your call before I got on. Bro, you were sounding pretty pathetic. That's all I'm saying. So hopefully you'll listen to this and you'll take heed to the fact that it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about what you said. It's what you said is the truth. That's all that matters, because somebody's going to hear the truth. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth, so they'll destroy the messenger of the truth. So you keep doing your thing. Hey, Wyatt, thanks for taking my call, bro. You keep doing your thing. And again, shout out to the chat. Drop Squad 52, dropping science to anyone who wants to catch it. Peace out, bro.
All right, brother. Thanks for engaging with us. Drop Squad 52. I haven't heard him in a while. Appreciate it. He sent me a long list of videos, and I'm like, okay, I didn't even know which one to clip. It just happened to have Kamala Harris's name attached to it. So yeah, it is what it is. But it is what it is, man. They all do the same stuff. I don't know why we all confused and caught up. And we're not really confused. I just don't know why we all caught up in what that shit ain't got nothing to do with what we really need to be doing. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. I guess it's the place that, sometimes you have to fit in where you fit in. You see, I guess if the only relevance that we can have in politics as a spectator is to maybe talk about it on podcasts and radio and maybe even on television, if that's our space, then okay, then I guess that's your spot to enjoy or to become smart or brilliant in. For me, I just tend to think that the things that we need to be working on could eliminate a lot of the frustrations that we face in politics. That's just that's just how I feel about it. I just think that if we were self-sufficient, and the reason why I say that is because I don't see Chinatown out there rocking and saying all the shit that we saying. I don't see Greektown out there rocking and saying all the things that we talking about. I don't see these other communities that involved. They're more focused on what they need to be doing for their people. But for some odd reason, I just think that our position in politics could be, we can control it ourselves instead of people feeding us what they want us to know. And when they feed us what they want us to know, they can control how we get it. You see what I'm saying? And it goes all the way back to school for me. It goes all the way back to how we're produced in our school systems, how they release us to society. And I tell you, one of the craziest things, and I know I'm going to get a lot of blowback for this, one of the things that made me angry the most in 2025, if it matters to anybody, if you ever wanted to know what really made me mad, nobody on here has ever really made me angry to the point where I was like ready to quit, like ready to stop Wyatt Live. But what really put me to the edge of saying, I don't even want to do this shit anymore because people act like this don't matter. is when I seen how our kids got treated at a school in the Cincinnati area and how they were pushed through the system. How they were pushed through. And if you're willing to push kids through for the money and not get them educated and not prepare them for what's coming for them in the world, and I don't hear enough people complaining about it. And I hate to say this because some people gonna think I'm targeting them. I just don't think that you have much room in the community to talk about what's going on in the community if you watching your children get pushed through school systems and not being prepared for what's next in life after school. And when I mean get pushed through the system, I mean, y'all know some kids graduated that didn't have no business graduating. They had teachers didn't have no business teaching. They didn't have real proper certifications. You have to question if those graduations are even real. And a lot of people didn't, it's like leaders would take control of that and say, hey, y'all might not like me for this, but I got to fix this problem. We have to fix this problem because all we doing is producing the next generation of people who are not going to be prepared for society. And to be honest with you, we got too many people in this country that's coming here that's a little bit more prepared in that laborer field, and we're going to sit back seat to that. I don't know, have y'all seen, it's going to sound racist. I know some of y'all going to think it's racist, but it's the truth. How many of y'all have seen a bunch of white boys on roofs, nailing people's roofs, putting brand new roofs on within 24 hours in your neighborhood? If you live in a home, you've seen all this, all these companies, all these homes getting new roofs. Are those a bunch of white? I seen one white dude sitting in the truck and I seen 6 or 7 Mexicans on the roof. Not one black guy on the roof. I'm just saying, those are jobs that we generally would be in. I mean, if you look at the construction sites, it's a ton of white dudes. You might see one black guy. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, well, look, if we are having children going in the direction of having to battle for those positions, we're not going to be ready. And I hate to say this, but Cincinnati Public School don't have a carpentry program. They're not pushing kids out. I wish they did. But then our charter schools, they barely teaching them reading and writing. They barely doing that, let alone preparing them to be able to go out here and compete. That's where I'm at. All that old MAGA, I'm this, I'm that. Man, they can save all that bullshit. That don't hurt my feelings one bit. What hurts my feelings is when I see how we get done. It kills me to see that the people that we call leaders don't step up and say shit that needs to be said because they feel like they'll get exiled. They'll feel like gonna get canceled and all this old shit. When y'all know you got 425 kids that you questioning, should they had even graduated? Should they be out here? What's next for them? You can't even take a kid to the next level if you don't have credit. If your school don't have the credits or whatever, if it's not credential or something like that with the state, you can't even go to college. How you gonna get in trade school without going back over and taking some of those remedial classes? How you gonna do that? Why didn't anybody have any conversations about that? I'm just curious. See, leadership takes a hold of shit like that. That's what it does. Leadership don't sit back and say, oh, it ain't no problems. We good. And the only reason why they want you to believe that there's no problems is because you got to hold their ass to the fire when it comes to the crime. And, they want you to believe everything's okay. Here's the other thing that really bothers me. You got people that live in OTR, where we from, and they talking to Channel 5, Channel 9. I see the shit on my phone. They talking. The community are talking. You got Stephon Pryor, the only one out in the community with a cell phone, showing what's going on. You can hear the background. You can hear the community everywhere Stephon Pryor go. Love him, hate him, whatever you want to do about him. He the realest one that I know. And the reason why I say that is because they're capturing OTR residents saying, it ain't safe here. We don't even want to come outside. We don't even want our kids outside. But people that don't live there will tell you It's safe down there. It's safe. They just want you to believe it ain't safe. Go down there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's all. All you gotta do is walk during lunchtime. You good. But then they want to come after me for saying, and I don't mean come after me like come after me. I mean, I've been criticized by some of the ones, the old motherfucker, the old tactics don't work in 2025. They've been doing that manipulative, trying to make y'all discredit. You want to discredit me, so what I say don't make sense. Go ask someone that lives in the OTR if Wyatt is talking crazy. Go ask somebody that live in OTR if them boys ain't down there running around in gang type fashion. I tell you what, if you want to believe your so-called leaders and you want to believe the people you believe in the most, then just take a trip down the damn motherfucker. Just go down there by yourself. You ain't even got to go by yourself. Just go down there yourself with somebody and see what happened. I ain't saying you're going to get robbed. I'm saying that you're going to see a lot of people just hanging around doing a whole lot of nothing. Sorry. I mean, you can discredit whatever you want to discredit about me, but go down and see if what is being said by the people that live there, see if what they saying is true. Damn what Wyatt talking about. See if the money that they always talking about they need to make the communities better. They've been getting money for the communities to get better for decades. When is it ever going to get there? It's always landed, but when is it going to go in the place that it really needs to go? And you know what kills me is the ones that criticize and got something to say about how people feel about it. They the ones that are the most distanced. You don't live there. You ain't never lived there. You can go downtown and you can just go to certain areas and you know a hot spot. You know a spot that's kind of like that. You can see a hot spot. If your blind eye can see a hot spot, why can't the leadership see hot spots? Why aren't they talking about it? Why is it more important to convince you that a place where our kids are dying, why is it so important for somebody to convince you that it ain't all that bad? If one kid died in Cincinnati, it would be too many. But we've become so conditioned that as long as we don't hit 40 murders this year, we good. That sounds crazy to me. All you got to do is ride around some of the neighborhoods that they say are hot spots and just ask yourself, what is everybody doing? Like, why everybody just hanging out and doing nothing? And the excuse used to be, ain't no jobs. Ain't no jobs. Well, I see a lot of Mexicans on some roofs, putting roofs in and doing gardening and doing a lot of trash, bringing down trash cans and shit like that. I see a whole lot of that going on, and them called jobs. I see a lot of jobs being put into these factories. Those are called jobs. Donnie, you know it ain't never been that way like that. You know, being downtown, now you know you was lightweight part-time because you know you came down to see us. But I'll respect you. You definitely are down the way. I mean, you know, you are a down the way girl. I will say that. You was there enough. But the truth of the matter is, Donnie, you know it ain't never been the way it is right now. You know that. And you got people that's literally telling you it ain't that bad. Somebody tell me, when was the last time have you seen a video? Have you seen a video of somebody, a grandmother, the lady that was on Channel 5 News the other day, and just yesterday, and she was on the camera, God bless her heart. And she was like, I don't know what's going on. It ain't never been this bad. It ain't never been this bad. And we don't even want to come outside. We don't even want our babies to come outside. And then you got people that come on and be like, well, we take our kids over to the park all the time. It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. Okay. All I want to know is, I just want to ask you this. I just want to ask, she said, never, Wyatt, you know that. Here, I just got to ask the people a question. Let's just ask the simple question. Why is it so important for someone to convince you that it's not that bad? I don't get it. You can argue my political beliefs and you can call me all that old shit you want. But one thing you can't call me is, you can't call me a fraud, or I'm fake, or whatever you want to associate MAGA and all that shit to. Black MAGA and all that, whatever you want to call me. I don't give a shit. But ain't none of y'all trying to make no differences. You still talking about the shit you talking about 20, 30, 40 years ago. That ain't where the change is. That's where the money is. The change is the change. But I didn't see none of them same folks mad at the school, knowing kids was just being used as paychecks. They were just money lines, just money, they were just cattle. And now none some motherfucker said shit about it. Ain't nobody said nothing about it. You know why? Because they had a black man running it. Oh, y'all know how it is when you hold a black person accountable, including myself. You hold me accountable, y'all ain't gonna say, oh, y'all shouldn't attack no black man. If you get a black man holding somebody black accountable, you ain't gonna never, if it's somebody like me, you ain't gonna say, oh, don't get on him. Nah, y'all gonna say F him. He a MAGA, all that old bullshit. But you know what? You'll let a black man do your community wrong and won't hold him to his fire to the feet. You won't even hold him accountable for the shit that he did, and he screwed over 400 motherfuckers, 420 some kids. That's just counting the ones of that year. Well, in a 2-year period. And laugh it off and won't nobody have no problem with it. They will, but they ain't gonna let it know. It's like, you know how it go. He like Uncle Ron in the family and shit. Ron is the one that like to look at the girls in the family and touch the booties of the little boys and molest the kids and all that. But don't nobody want to say nothing about Uncle Ron in the family. Y'all just let Uncle Ron do what he do. Girls, y'all keep y'all babies away from Uncle Ron. Ron a fool. But we ain't gonna let nobody know about Uncle Ron. We're gonna keep it a secret. Excuse me. And got a problem with what I say. And that's what's crazy is I can always tell who watching. Y'all know it. All you got to do is pay attention to when you say something they don't agree with, especially if they can find the micro. Thank you. Me too, Me too, Vernon. Especially if they can find a micro problem. I'm not right about everything. I don't say that I'm right about everything. If there's research involved, research could be off, right? Because of your sources. The sources could be wrong. But yeah, what's crazy to me is, what I've noticed is, I've put out probably 200 posts in 2025. And it's been crickets when I say that real shit. How many people said something when I said just last week, y'all want to protect black women? Start by marrying one. Crickets. Crickets. Nobody, we gonna save our community. They don't see those posts. Them don't happen to get on their feed. They don't see when I say shit like that. They don't see productive. They don't see they don't see stuff like that. They only see where they can get you. When they can discredit you. That's the only time they say something. That's the only time. And I seen it today. People that I never even, they have seen me on Facebook for 10 years. Never made a mention. Some of them ain't never been in the political realms in their life. All of a sudden they woke up in 2025, where we at? September. They started getting into the political world just last month. Ain't said shit to me in 10 years. Now they money getting dried up, so they got to leech on to somebody else that's gonna make them relevant again. Now you want to get into politics. You want to support people that you think can put you back on. See, that's what you need to pay attention to. They wasn't fucking with them when they was getting money. When they was getting money, they wasn't rock. They didn't care. They was getting city money. They was making money off the people. But now when they money dry up, now they wants to be part of the, oh yeah, we about to get the, let's get the political thing going for, let me go to the phone lines because I'm about to get up out of here. I want to make this, because this person called a couple times. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, this is Troy down here in Pensacola.
I'm sorry. Say your name again, brother.
Troy.
Hey, how you doing today, Troy?
Hey, man, I'm just cooling, man, holding it in the road.
You in Pensacola?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
bro. You know, that's where my brother Roy live.
Yes, sir. Roy Jones, Pensacola in the house.
Yes, he in the house. What's going on, man? What's on your mind today, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, man, I'm like I said, just holding in the road, and I apologize for a little stuffiness. I'm just getting over a little cold or something. But
no, that's okay. You sound fine.
Just some observations.
You sound fine, bro. Go ahead. What's on your mind, though?
All right, just some observations. Yeah, twin. This is from my point of view what I've been listening to.
Okay.
So he'll call Lincoln, and when I first started listening to him, you know, he had entertaining stories about his past life and what he was. Everybody was laughing and joking and all that. It was all cool.
Okay.
Call of the year. He was in the studio.
Okay.
You know, it was all good. But then when the election came around, and he was like, you know, I'm with Trump, or he was doing this. Maybe I'll vote for him, maybe I won't. And people was getting on him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they was talking noise and everything. And it's just what it was, I guess. So that's when the worm turned, as they say, because as he got deeper and deeper into, you know, talking about voting for Trump, if he did, I'm sure he did. That's what he said he did. It wasn't my week to watch him. I didn't know if he did or didn't. At any rate,
okay.
You know, that's what he did. And now, as this has gone on, as he, you know, Trump's president now, so you know that's what the talk about is, because you know Trump and his administration is cutting a lot of these programs, you know, that were helping people, and you know people are trying to get to him and get not just him. I'm not just going to point him out. That's not fair to him, but
right.
You know, other people that were talking like him, they're trying to explain like, hey, you know, he's cutting out these programs, he's doing this, he's doing that. And again, this is just from what I'm seeing.
Okay.
I think, you know, when you vote for so long and then the same thing keeps happening, and then Trump comes along and he says something totally different, and you're like, some people will probably get with that. Like, okay, let's see what this guy gonna do. And you know, he does what he does, and some people still ride with him. Some people turn their back on it. But and this is why, you know, this is my second time listening to your show.
Okay.
So, you know,
I remember you checked in a day or two ago saying this is I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Troy.
Yeah. Troy. And you said Troy from Pensacola. I seen it in the chat. I appreciate you being here, bro. I honor all opinions, to be honest with you. I really appreciate you being here. But continue. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so basically, you know, he went from the penthouse to the outhouse, as they say.
Yeah, I'm hearing that. I didn't even know Twin till maybe a year ago. I think he's been on the show for about a year, I believe.
Yeah, that's about the time I kind of discovered it.
Okay.
And like I said, when he first came on, he was having entertaining stories about his past life and stuff that he did. And everybody was, you know, and kikiing and all that. Everything was all cool. And then once the political season came around, you know, it
changed up.
You know, yeah, it changed up. And, you know, he was like, hey, I'm rolling with Trump. And people were saying, hey, don't vote for this guy because he doesn't have everybody's interest involved, and he just blew him off. And when people call him names, that's where he gets frustrated. And you can't, on Lincoln's show, you can't just cuss and cussing and fussing. That's why he come on your show, and just blow a gasket. And I'm like, man, this guy needs to chill, But here in the South, hey, we laid back, all that rah stuff. We ain't used to that.
Nah.
So maybe that's what throws me off, because the news down here is slow. The biggest news story we had in the last couple of weeks was some wild pigs got loose. So if that gives you any indicator on what kind of news we got going on.
Yeah, I know a little bit about Pensacola. Bit about Pensacola. I've been there a couple times. I went to the beach a few years ago in Pensacola. It's a nice, chill little city, bro. It really is. It's not real big, but it's big enough. Y'all.
Yeah. It's just a small little beach town with a Navy base.
Yeah. Which is it's chill. I think people should maybe come visit it. It's
nice. They got plenty of flights.
Yeah.
There's plenty of places to fall in at. So So that's just what I've been observing, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. That's just my opinion.
No, it sounds like you on point there, bro. It sounds like that's why I was making Troy, to be honest with you, that's why I was making that point to Twin. Like, why don't you just come over? I don't have a problem with who watches what, but let's not bring the energy from the other platform over here. Maybe we can deal with it a little bit different if you're not bringing that same, like the reverb from that over here, because you're already, a little hot under the collar. Maybe we can deal with what it is a little bit different if you bring it over here first, or ask me, what do you think about this, Wyatt, if I had this solution to this problem, and then get my opinion on it, and then kind of base my opinion maybe on, maybe he call back over there another time and say, hey, this is what I was thinking. I don't know, bro. I just think it's very challenging to bring the energy from one place over to the other and expect to feel better afterwards. I don't know if you're waiting for me to say something that's going to change, or if you want me to agree with you. I don't really get it sometimes. And there's some people that really think, I know I don't have the answer for everything, but I can give you my opinion, and my opinion is not always going to be correct. I know that, but at the same time, bro, I just think that we tend to have a little bit better understanding when we hear differences of opinion. I think the more we engage with different people and different likes and dislikes, we become more rounded as an individual. That's kind of what I think. What you think, bro?
Well, sure. I'm right there with you. It's like when you go against the grain, people are like, oh man, what you got going on over here? You know what I mean?
Right.
And most people are like, hey, I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Kamala, but that was just me. That's just what I did.
Right, and for each his own, bro. Yeah.
Hey, and all this stuff that's going on now, and the reason people talk about it every day is because it's so much stuff that is coming out of that White House, out of that administration, and just got people up in an uproar because they like, we told you this was going to happen when this man got in there. And he's doing it.
Yeah, but I don't think, I'll be honest with you, and this is going to sound like I'm defending Trump, but to be honest with you, bro, I think he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. I don't think any secrets were being held. I mean,
no, you're right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a lot of people that voted for exactly what they're getting.
Yeah, they voted for it. And, everybody's saying, hey, sooner or later, you're going to feel it, and you're going to come crying like a pig stuck under a gate. And it's going to be some trouble. And then everybody going to point and laugh at you because they say, hey, we told you, now you got to suffer with us. And that's where, Twin just go completely over the edge. And he comes on here and he just blows his top,
Yeah. Well, we're going to work on that. We're going to work on that. And what I want you to do, Troy, if you can call a little bit more often, bro, I really would appreciate it, man. I appreciate you engaging and letting us know your opinion on some things. And, it's always great to have fresh new callers. And, I love to hear fresh new voices and people that really can just kind of be, like chill about it. I think that's that Florida thing in you, bro. You just kind of,
Yeah, Yeah. That's what we do down here, man. We just chill. We on all that fussing and cussing. Ain't as much of that going on. It's, we got enough to deal with the heat and everything else, and
Right.
so we got enough on our plate down here.
Right.
So,
Troy, do you live close to the beach?
10 minutes, I'll be at the beach.
Walking or car?
Car, but we got a, just cross the bridge and you're there. But we got a shuttle, not a shuttle, but what's some boats called?
Ferry?
Yeah, ferry. Thank you.
No problem. We got
a little
those
bit
here
slow
too.
today. Yeah, but we got the ferry that can take you there. So we got ways to get there, but I ain't too far from the beach.
Okay, that's cool. Now I'm in St. Pete, so bro, maybe one day, once we get to know each other on here, if you start visiting, if you stay here a little bit, you never know, we might break bread together one day or something.
For sure.
All right. Hey, I appreciate you engaging with us. Don't be a stranger, Troy. Okay.
All right, you got it.
All right, brother. Thanks, man. That was Troy out of Pensacola, Florida. And I appreciate him, man. I know where he is and I know what he's talking about. And I get it. I love to engage in people where we sometimes, we just disagree, but we find a common ground and we're okay with your choice. You're okay with my choice. It is what it is, bro. It don't have to be. I'll be honest with you. This might sound a little selfish. Whoever was in the White House this year, or in 24, basically, wasn't going to change nothing I was doing. And if it did change something, I was going to have to make halftime adjustments. I know everybody can't say that. And unfortunately, it's like that. But it didn't matter. There were going to be people that would have took losses if Kamala Harris would have won. There's people that took losses when Trump won. So there was going to be a L and a win on either side. But I think that if we can get ourselves in a position where it don't matter to us who's in the White House, we'll have less to worry about. I mean, how do we do that? How do we get to a point where it don't matter because we're independent? And what happens is this: they need us. Where we would be that power. I just don't know if it's ever going to get to that point. To be honest, I just got to be fair. I don't know if it's ever going to get to that point because we're not large enough as a population. And as long as we allow other country members or other places to come into this country, you have to be careful. You have to really, I don't know if we looking at this the right way sometimes. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many a times. Fam, I don't know if y'all understand how it is in Florida. Florida has a lot of Latinos that who you thought were going to be Democrats ended up being Republicans down here. And they're opening up their own little shops and businesses, and they don't like paying taxes on other people. They don't like that shit. They come from places that are dealing with socialism and all that stuff. They're trying to escape it. And then when they come to America, you think they're going to be on your side. I'm sorry, man. You better get out your backyard and go and see how some people living when they get different options in their life. These people are not doing what you think they're going to do. A lot of those folks are not going to sit back and just take government money and just get it and they're going to be dictated. They're going to let the government dictate what they do and how they live. A lot of these people coming to this country and getting their ass up on roofs and working 12, 13, 14 hours a day, stacking their money, getting their shit right, sending money home. I don't know if we really understand that shit, but that's what's going on. We sitting in a certain place where we feel like, we on the right side. Maybe we on the right. The only side, let me just say this so you understand. The only right side is all of us being on the same side. That's it. There ain't no, that side over there is better than this side, so I'm going to go to that side. That side ain't shit, so I ain't going to go to them. I'm going to go over here. Trust me, the side is right here together. And, if you look at a lot of people who come from other countries, they're not really that split when it comes to politics. I'm sorry, that's just it, man. Since my brother Troy called from Pensacola, Florida, I'm just gonna lay some Texas music down, the Southern hip hop, to get us up out of here today. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'll see you guys on the next one. See you tomorrow at 1 o'clock right here on Wyatt Live. Peace and love. I love everybody. I'll holler.
Sitting sideways, boys in the days. Sitting sideways, boys in the days. Sitting sideways, boys in the days. On a Sunday night, I might bring me some man. Sitting sideways, boys in the days. Sitting sideways, boys in the days. Sitting sideways, boys in the days.
House.
On a Sunday night, I might bring
Big
me some
Pokey,
man.
Empire Wild, baby. It's the people's champ. I'm something like a bowler. The candy paint dripping out for the old school Impala. I'm with that big bank Hank, that Poppy Joe and box. Trunk bump like chicken pox. Turn the bass up just a notch. You see them blades chopping. You see that trunk popping. Hoes that diss me in the club. The same hoes in the parking lot bopping. They see me in the Jag, acting bad with T. Ferris. Open mouth and showcase icing. You gon' see about 20 carats. I'm with the goo, you 15900. In the Tahoe 124s. I'm the truth, I got that glow. I'm out there Swisher House with Archie Lee and Kuda Bang. Sitting sideways on swing, the candy paint dripping off the frame. You see me acting bad, I'm showing out and pulling stunts. Say cheese and show my fronts, it's more carrots than buzz when it's lunch. It's Power Wild, baby. I got it made, I got a cup full of that oil and I'm paid. Plus I'm sitting sideways.
Boys in the days, sitting sideways. Boys in the days, sitting sideways. Boys in the days. On a Sunday night, I might bring me some man. Sitting sideways. Boys in the days, sitting sideways. Boys in the days, sitting sideways. Boys in the days. On a Sunday night, I might bring me some man.
What it do? I'm on the block, posted up like a mailbox, staying licks on the grind, putting money in my socks. A legend in the hood for gold grills and popping seals. An icon on the mic for showcasing my verbal skills. I'm in the club, posted up with some gangbangers, still flipping the old school candy Cadillac on swingers. I got a styrofoam white cup full of that drink, looking for that dank. My hustle game sharp as a shank. Big bank take little bank, 84s and candy paint. Trying to find some honey love, my Mackin game is top rank. These hoes peeping me, ear hustling on the side, eavesdropping my conversation, trying to figure which car I drive. I'm on the scene strapped up like I was bungee jumping. Hit the corner, you hear me bumping. Look at that chrome grilling woman. The trunks popped up, my music screwed and chopped. I'm the undisputed king of the parking lot. I'm sitting sideways.
Boys in the days, sitting sideways. Boys in the days, sitting sideways. Boys in the days. On a Sunday night, I might bring me some man. Sitting sideways. Boys in the days, sitting sideways. Boys in the days, sitting sideways. Boys in the days. On a Sunday night, I might bring me some man.
Maybe OJs, oh, we going crazy when they see me. Sitting sideways on them 24. Bunch of hoes, bunch of money, bunch of clothes. Cigarillas out the mold. Gliding like an ice skater. Molding like a snot nose. Suicide drop those. Mono blocks, top mode. Customize that, cause the mono block stock low. Sensei, Dun Key, how wow. In the play, heads up, when you see us, we gon' put it in your face. Rays gon' sky in the yellow. When I blaze, boy, smell nothing but haze. Ain't the nigga to settle. I'm the dude with the metal. They get hot as a kettle from messing riding with some cat that ain't got it together. Flossing, breaking out the intersection, crossing, three-wheeling, acting the is ass on them bounces. SUC in the dough, MOB on the place, pull up in the driveway, leaning and I'm sitting.
Sideways.